Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So I was listening to a podcast with, I think her name is Diana Nyad. It's the woman that swam to Cuba from Florida, and at the age of 64. And it's really fascinating interview on I know I talk about the Oprah Super Soul Sunday Super Soul Conversations podcast a lot, but man, I've heard some really amazing stories and just beyond like inspiration, right? But this is a woman, just a little bit of a backstory. So she'd been, a competitive long distance swimmer since she was young, and she at 30 she decided she was done. She went into broadcasting, and then she'd always had this dream about swimming to Cuba. Kind of no certain reason why, where it came from or anything like that, but go ahead. Okay. God, the school drop-off and the pickup is like crazy town. We unfortunately don't live within walking distance of both my boys' school anymore. We did when we first moved here. And we decided to stay just because Tyson really liked the school. It's a really small school. Teachers and stuff, just awesome school. But now it means that I drive. And apparently there's also a lot of parents that either are lazy asses and live close and don't walk their kids to school, or they live farther away like we do, and it's like a 12-minute drive. And then getting out of here is just like insanity. So here we go. So Diana Nyad. So then when she decided she was going to start to do this, and she'd already, I think, broken a lot of different world records for like long distance swims and all this kind of stuff. And by the way, so this is a swim that would take her like over 2 days. Constant swimming. I think she's allowed. No, I don't think she's ever out of the water. No, she's never out of the water. She's eating. She's got kind of a team that's in a boat or boats and following her and giving her food and water and all that kind of stuff. But she attempted it. I think on the 5th attempt that she did it, it was like each year, and she has to watch like what's happening with the hurricanes and. There was problems with jellyfish. She got stung by a jellyfish one time and almost died. And then they created this jellyfish-proof suit. And her whole thing, and she wrote a book on this, was find a way. Find a way. Find a way. No, you can't do that. Okay, well, if you feel really called to do something, find a way. Well, maybe, I'm getting all these messages from the universe. I'm not supposed to do this, which can be true sometimes. But other times when you just still really feel like, this is just an obstacle. I just have to find a way around it, through it, over it, under it, whatever. Push it out of the way. Find a way. And so let me give you a little bit of context, because we're not all world record holder long distance swimmers like Diana Nyad is. And that's her book too, I think. It's actually called Find a Way. I'm getting my kids out the door this morning to go to school, and my husband is running an event. He runs men through a program called Men of Iron, and it is virtual and then online, in-person events, live event experiences of really helping these men to wake up and to become men and to reclaim their power back within their marriage, as fathers, in their businesses, in their bodies. And so he's there right now. So it's me solo with the kids. And I do lots of prep work like the night before. I got clothes out and lunches are made and like bags at the front door. I'm sure a lot of stuff, if you're a mom, you've just kind of like figured out like, man, if I'm organized, it doesn't mean no chaos. It means less chance of chaos. Or if chaos ensues, I don't have these other things that I have to now worry about, right? So everything was copacetic. And it seems it's always like 10 minutes before we're out the door, suddenly shit hits the fan. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, and I know for Tyson, my son's dyslexic, that like, I don't want to say the attention, but the hearing of stuff it's difficult for him a lot of times. It's beyond a lot of other kids. It really is. And I know that he feels, badly about it. He's like, Mommy, I didn't hear you. And I'm like, dude, I literally said to you 5 times. You looked me in the eyes, you didn't. It's just, it's a skill that's just, it is harder for him. That's just what it is. That's how Tyson is. But it's tricky, right? It's tricky to parent that, because like, what do I hear? I hear that you're just not listening, like you're not. And so Tyson has so much iPad time each day. He gets 90 minutes of iPad time. We have it on an app now called Kids Locks. Kids Lock. I think it's LOX, KIDSLOS, or maybe it's Kids and then Lock, LOCK. I can't remember, but it's awesome. There's lots of apps like it that allow you to kind of keep track of the time. You can, ban certain websites. Maybe they can't go online. Maybe they can just play certain games. They can't go to the App Store. Because we're like, dude, what are these games you've downloaded? We didn't see these games. These downloaded games are just not appropriate for a 7.5-year-old boy. And so we've set this all up, and it's like, it's made it so much better, right? He's done sometimes things where he earns a bonus 30 minutes once in a while. It's like a reward for him. Like, it's working out really well. I've had it for about 2 weeks up in there. And now I've got it with my other boy now, too, Kai. I don't have to keep track of the time. Be like, Tillman is, so this much time left. I become the gatekeeper. And then I become the one that, he gets angry at. And now it's just what happens, which is really cool, is when the time's up, just all the apps go away. And they can't, they could use the camera on it. They could, use the calendar, but they don't have any of the other apps that are on there. They just kind of they disappear. So it's perfect, right? You just go, oh, my time's up. I'm like, okay, good. Let's go do something else. But what's been happening is because he doesn't get up 90 minutes before school and he's on the iPad constantly, Tyson he takes his time with things, and he needs that. And so he's getting up. I always get him up at least an hour before. Now this morning too, which added to the challenge. There's 2 things with kids. Whether you have kids or not, here's the 2 things that are gonna fuck things up, okay? A tired kid or a hungry kid. And if you have both, it's bad. It's bad news. And so for Tyson this morning, it was tired. He got up at 6:30. I usually have to wake him up by 7:15, 7:20, and we're at the door by 8:20, 8:25. And so I had to wake him up. So he's already a little tired and stuff, right? But again, he's making that same kind of fuss, doesn't want to dress himself. I'm literally sitting there putting socks on and helping my 7, almost 8-year-old son get dressed. I'm like, dude, this stops now. And, again, he gets really upset. He gets really explosive about things. I'm like, Tyson, we're done. He's like, I know, it's all my fault. And I go, it's not all your fault, Tyson, but you need to understand is when these things happen, buddy, it creates a lot of chaos before we leave. And yeah, you need to take responsibility for your role in this, because it starts things. It doesn't have to be, right? It doesn't have to be. And so I literally said to him, I said, Tyson, there's one more chance for this. And if there's this, I don't want to get dressed, I didn't know what time it was, that kind of thing, before school because today's Friday, on Monday, the iPad's gone before school permanently, because it's clearly not something that you're able to handle or pull yourself away from. And so, in my mind, I'm always going find a way. And I'm just son, tell me how I can support you more. And again, it's just find a way. So we're in the car, and Tyson's kind of begrudgingly and rah and stuff. And then he's eating. I made the kids these pumpkin chocolate chip muffins this morning. They're having their muffins in the car, and we're driving to school, and everything's, and then I'm just Tyson, just having a little bit of the stern lecture with him, this needs to stop, sweetheart. Well, you're always mad in the morning. I'm like, no, dude, I'm actually not. I actually wake up with time for me. You guys often wake up in the middle of it, and I still find a way, right? Find a way. But I said, Mommy starts to get angry when it's this constant pushback, Tyson. And I'm just I give you lots of chances. And then there's a breaking point for Mommy where it's just I'm upset. So yeah, now I'm actually angry. And it's not your fault. It's still an emotion that I choose, but it's not cool. And so, I just said to Tyson, I'm like, Tyson, this is not the way I want us to start our days. It doesn't have to be. You woke up happy. There's different things that he does to help with his dyslexia. One is this, those koosh balls. Those ones with little elastic thingies, koosh ball toss. And so that's one. So we did your koosh ball toss. You made up your bed, which was awesome. Then you got your iPad time. Everything was cool. Everything's flowing. Everything's great, right? And I said, listen, we're going to have fights sometimes. That's okay. But it's been every single morning since school started. Enough. So I had the conversation, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't want this to be the last thing that my boy remembers as he's heading out the door to school, right? Even though we get there a little bit early and he can have some playtime before and kind of run around, see his bros, and they go to their classes. And I'm just like, all right, find a way. And you know what? The easiest way for me to shift things is either to move my body or listen to music. And listen to music, and if we add on the dance portion, even better. So I can't move. I'm in the car. I mean, I'm moving with the car, so that's a good thing, because that's still kind of movement for me. But like, I'm like, all right, we're gonna turn some songs, and so it's like, you know, like dance songs where there's like crescendo and that build up, and we're like, you know, raising the roof, and I'm getting the boys in a different way. I'm like, Karen, like as a mom, like find a way to connect with your boys right now. Find a way to shift this energy. Find a way to show them that, you know what, days can actually start like a shitstorm, and they can be turned around in an instant when we decide to, when we know the tools are going to help us find a way. So here's a more tip for today then, sister. Where is it with something right now where you're just like, you feel like you're reading this, you're hitting this block, right? You have this constant obstacle in front of you. And, you know, for me, it's been morning times with Tyson. I'm like, dude, and I don't even think of it. I don't go like, oh God, it's 8:05. Here it comes. Here comes I don't even go there. I just assume everything's going to be great. But yet it's this constant like thing that's coming up. And so, you know, it's just finding a way. It's Tyson knows that there's one more chance. And then the consequences, like, then the find a way might be like, there's no iPad in the morning. You can have it after school, you know, after your tub. You want to chill for a little bit. If you still have some of your time left, awesome. But like, find a way. So there's something for you right now. I know there's always something for us in our life where it's like, oh, I'm just hitting a wall with this. Like, what I'm doing is clearly not working. And you know the definition of insanity, right? Like, you keep doing the same thing, you think you're getting a different result. It's like, no, it just means you're crazy because you've tried that and it's not working. You've probably actually tried it multiple times. So number one, identify where that is, what area of your life, your area of your life. Maybe it's with your husband, it's with your kids, like something like with me, it's something with your body, I don't know, something. Like, what is the one thing? Spirituality, something with a friendship, like one area of your life that this is happening, you've hit that wall. And the second piece is, I just want you to be open to hearing this, which is find a way. Find a way around it, through it, under it, over it, I don't care. Move it out of the way. Instead of going to door number 1, which is the thing you've always done, you now choose door number 2 instead. Like, find a way, sister. If you want something badly enough, if you know that, you know, you feel called and pulled to this thing, you will find a way. You know, when my husband and I were trying to conceive, and it was not happening, went through fertility tests. It was like, find a way. As painful as it was, as much as I was going, oh, the universe is saying I shouldn't be a mom. Like, it was like, find a way, until we finally did with adoption. Find a way. All right, sister, finishing up 2 things. Number 1, I haven't talked about the sisterhood for a little bit of time, so we're going to talk about this right now. Sisterhood I designed about a year and a half ago to create a program where women that either weren't able to or didn't have the budget to come out to a live event, or for my other high-end coaching programs, that this was a way to connect with other women like them that want similar things and have access to me. And so the sisterhood is women that are like you, that want more within their life, that feel called to something bigger, that don't really follow the whole status quo. They want to have real conversations. They want to tell the truth. They want to really figure out who they are. And this is done away through a Facebook page. It is $47 a month. It's like nothing. I did the math on that one time. It works out to like $1.50 a day. So less than half of a Starbucks latte every single day. To invest in you, sister, to be around women who are like you. Because to be around people who are like you is everything. You've heard this before. I know you know it's important. You become who you're around. So if you don't have women in your life, that you can really have these honest conversations, that you can be real and raw, and maybe can be even a little bit more so in a virtual format, right? People that don't know you, they don't know your background, your history, all that kind of stuff. Like, you can just be you, and finding out you and remembering who you are in the presence of powerful women like you. Sisterhood's designed for that. And so every single day I create a sisterhood tip. So something tangible that you can do or something to think about. And then every single week I do a live training. And right now, I just did trainings. I did training number 64 yesterday. And so all those trainings are there on the Facebook page. So you literally could start up in the sisterhood, which, by the way, you get to also try for free for the first 7 days. So it's at drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. So there's like no risk with this. And if you want to cancel anytime, like, you're good to go. But most women who get the results that they do, come in and they stay in and they do the work, and just have seen amazing shifts with the women inside the sisterhood. So to get your 7-day free trial, head over right now to Dr. Karen Osborn, DrKarenosborn.com/sisterhood. And if you're not receiving the Women Wanting More newsletter, I want you to go and do that today. Head over to drkarenosborn.com/action guide. I'm going to send you some very cool, amazing video trainings, and you can be part of this Women Wanting More tribe. The book is coming together, sisters. The book is coming together. And you're going to hear about it first in the newsletter. So make sure to get that, drkarenosborn.com/action guide. So I will talk to the next episode. A life of more is just one step away from you finding a way to get the things you want in your life every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.